these LTNs, these low traffic neighborhoods. And you probably would have seen them. All of a sudden you wake up one day and there's something that looks like a wooden plant potter stuck at the end of your road you weren't consulted with, and all of a sudden it's blocking people from visiting you, it's blocking you from going to work, you're getting fined when you try to, ambulances can't get in your area, businesses are going out of business, and yet people are driving sometimes 3 times longer to get to where they need to go, and it increases emissions. People are frustrated because they weren't consulted with, they're being taxed on the back of it, ambulance services can't get in there, and businesses are failing, and also they're getting more congestion and more emissions. It's frustrating, and the residents have complained there's been a lack of explanation, a lack of engagement, a lack of consultation, as they are literally, quote unquote, steamrolled through these schemes. It's frustrating for them, and it's frustrating for me. Also, it prevents local people from visiting their family, even within their support bubble. It keeps them from attending work and attending medical appointments. When I was in Ealing a few days ago, people were shouting over, I can't get to see my doctor. I can't care for my elderly. It was really frustrating to them. The worst part is, for me, is that this appears to be a revenue generating scheme. And this is where I draw the line. You cannot tax your citizens in order to make a profit, especially in a time of economic contraction. When I studied economics at MIT, this was economics 101. You cannot tax the businesses and citizens when the economy is contracting and expect to get out of that hole. It's basically going to close itself in a loop, and it ends in bankruptcy and despair. We've got to find a way out of it, and generating revenue on the back of it is not okay. Lambeth Council, for example, has already issued more than £1 million of fines just because of low traffic neighborhoods, and there's more boroughs that have already racked up 7 figures in fines. Again, this seems to be completely defeating the purpose, but you see the mayor doing the same thing with congestion charge being expanded to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, going up from £11.50 to £15. Expanding the congestion charge zone out to Richmond, with those citizens up in arms about that. The ULEZ that's almost being snuck in, and a lot of people are paying a lot of money in these ULEZ fees, and they're being extended as well, and people are frustrated. And the reason I know is this: I get comments on every single video, I get live comments here, and the people are not happy about it. Especially emergency services point out that logistically, it's literally, it's killing people. They cannot save people in time. And the last thing I want to say about this is a flat tax, which means, for example, a 15-pound congestion charge, you might be earning £20,000 a year, £40,000 a year, or £200,000 a year. The problem is that the flat tax hurts lower income families worse. And that is the wrong thing to do, especially in this situation. And so it actually gets worse. Disabled people can't access what they need to access, and researchers recently found that 72% of those questioned were critical of the way that LTNs were introduced and the way that they were informed by town hall bosses about them. And the report, called Pave the Way, published this month, also found that 77% believed their journey times or those of their carers had in fact increased because of LTNs. Again, this is defeating the purpose. It's taxing our citizens. And I'll be honest, it's probably one of the single most important issues for Londoners as I'm out there. Of course, they're frustrated with the nightmare proportion of knife crime thanks to the mayor. They're frustrated with him bankrupting our TfL nearly twice. They're frustrated that he's only built 3% of the affordable homes that he promised. But honestly, it's this congestion charge extension, these LTNs, that really frustrate him a lot.